Good evening. I'm going to go ahead and start presenting so that we can begin our middle school parent webinar this evening. My name is Heather Koleszar. I'm the K-12 Digital Learning Specialist at North Reading Public Schools. And right here on the bottom, this is a link to our slides, and you are welcome to have these slides and view them as often as you need to. So we'll begin tonight by talking a little bit about Google Classroom and some of the updates that are available. Now in Google Classroom, teachers can put the link to their Google Meet right in the banner of their Google Classroom, and students can join that meeting at any time. That Meet link will stay the same throughout the year. Teachers can also invite their class with an email rather than just having them enter class codes. So the classroom will just appear in their classroom homepage, and they will just need to click join. And there are also to-do updates. So teachers and students can now open the to-do page from the classes page. During class video meetings, teachers can start and students can join video meetings in Google Classroom with Google Meet. Only teachers can create the video meetings in Classroom. All video meetings created in Classroom are considered nickname meetings, so students can't start a meeting before the teacher or rejoin the meeting if the teacher is the last participant to leave. That's a new update for Google Meet, and it makes it much more secure for the teachers and the students. So in the banner, you will find the Meet link right underneath the class name. There will be a class code that students can join with, and here will always be the Meet link for students. There is a new to-do tab for students to be able to quickly see upcoming work and latest announcements. All they need to do is go to the Google Classroom homepage, and then on each class card, you can review up to 3 assignments that are due in the next week. You can also see details by clicking the title of the work. By clicking a class to see the latest assignments, questions, or announcements. Where do you find that to-do list? Right up in the upper left-hand corner of the Google Classroom homepage. When you click on it, you will see 3 choices: assigned work, missing work, or work that has been recently done. To see work that you didn't turn in, click on the Missing tab. To see work that your teacher has graded or returned, click Done. And then you can click a title to see the details of the work at any point. If you want to see or hide work for a specific time, you can click the down or up arrow. That's optional. And for students, you can see a list of all the work for a class. You can check your grades, review assignments and due dates, and see any work that's late or missing. You can also filter your work by class. So by going to the Google Classroom homepage, on a class card, you're going to click Your Work, which is your little picture right here, and click View Your Work. And that's where you can also see attachments, comments, or additional details for an assignment. To check for late or missing assignments, your teacher is going to set the late work policies for your class. So find out what that policy is with your teacher. However, Classroom does not prevent you from turning your work in after the due date. Just because it's late does not mean that you can no longer submit it. So when your teacher assigns work, it's marked assigned. If you don't turn it in on time, it will be marked missing or done late as soon as the due date or time arrives. For example, if work is due at 9 a.m., turn it in by 8:59. If you turn it in at 9 a.m., it is going to be marked late. Go to the Google Classroom homepage, find your work, and click on Missing to see what you might be missing. Guardian summaries. Teachers or school administrators can invite guardians to receive email summaries about their students' work in class. These summaries will not include grades. To find the grades, you're going to want to look in PLUS portals or have your child show you their Google Classroom grades right in Google Classroom. What's included in that summary? Missing work that wasn't turned in when the summary was sent, upcoming work that's due today and tomorrow if you get daily emails, or what's due in the upcoming week if the teacher sets it to be weekly emails. For class activity, you can also see the announcements, assignments, and questions that have been recently posted by teachers. Guardians who sign up for email summaries can't see the streamed classwork, people, or grades in the classroom. So there is an element of privacy for the other students in the classroom. When do guardians get summaries? Guardians can get emails daily or weekly, and you can also unsubscribe at any time. You will not get an email summary if there's no activity to report for the given time period, or if all the students' teachers turn off the notifications for their class. They accepted the invitation but chose not to get any summaries, or if they are not connected to any student in the classroom. To find out more about guardian summaries, you can click on this FAQ. Here is what an example would look like for a guardian summary. So for Felix right here, he is missing some work, some things that are coming up that are due next week, and an example of some of the class activity that happened during the past week. Now we'll move on to Google Meet. There are more new features for Google Meet than there were for Google Classroom. So when you're first joining a Google Meet, take a look at your microphone and camera settings and then click the Join Now button. You should see yourself in this screen right here, and you should also be able to test your voice. And if you see these 3 green dots start to turn into 3 green lines and get bigger and smaller, you know that your microphone is enabled. And if you can see yourself, your camera is enabled. Be aware that you may have to mute your microphone, and students also in the classroom or at home to avoid annoying echo noises. Turning off your speakers on your Chromebook or on your device will also help reduce any feedback. Once the call is started, you can use the microphone and video buttons to enable or disable your microphone and camera respectively. Oftentimes, teachers will ask the students to mute themselves while they're talking so that there's no extra background noise. Some students also may choose to turn off their cameras, or the teacher may ask or say that they can turn off their cameras if they're just going to go and do some work for a little while. You can also turn on captions at the very bottom next to the present and the hang up button to enable live audio transcription, and it's excellent. Meet is very good at transcribing live voice. So I can transcribe it for myself, or if you're at home and you want to read what I'm saying, you can also turn on the captions. They do not both have to be turned on for them to work. Whoever turns it on can see everything. If you would like to be a presenter, you can click Present Now. If the teacher has turned off that feature for students, they will not see this button. If you can present and you need to, you can choose 3 choices for sharing either your entire screen, just a window, or a Chrome tab. And it says right here, it's best for video and animation. So if you are showing any videos to your students, you're going to want to present from a Chrome tab. Once you're done, you can click Stop Presenting whenever you want to stop your sharing. Or in the Chrome tab at the top, there will also be a blue button that just says Stop. Here are some features that you might want to consider changing in your settings next to the menu button in the bottom toolbar right here, these 3 dots. One of the new features is to enable tile mode so you can see all of the people in the call, up to 49 people. So once you've clicked on those 3 buttons, here are your choices. You can change your layout, and you can change it to tile view. When you change it to tile view, there will actually be a little toggle bar down here where you can change it anywhere from 1 all the way up to 49 to see up to 49 people in that tile feature. You can also select sidebar or spotlight and make it how you would like it. Here's something that you really might want to consider if your student is having a difficult time with audio or video in their Google Meet. Okay, under the settings, so if I go back here to, when you click on the 3 dots, you would click on Settings right here, and up will come Audio, Video, or General Settings. One thing you might want to try is in the video, changing the resolution from high definition, which is what it is set to by default, to standard definition for both sending and receiving. That will reduce the amount of bandwidth that the Meet is requiring and make it a little bit faster for students. So try changing the resolution to make that a little easier. You can click the chat button at the top if the teacher has enabled that, to chat with everybody in the link or in the room, or if they have to ask a question to the teacher or to other people. When you're done with your call, you're just going to click the red End Call button. Here are some troubleshooting tips and tricks. So if your camera or microphone was denied access, most of the time when you join a Google Meet conference, it will ask your permission to use your camera and microphone. If you accidentally deny that, you can change your response by going back up to the upper left-hand corner of your URL bar right here, and you will see a padlock next to the Meet URL address. When you click on that padlock, you can make sure that your camera and your microphone are both allowed if they have been shut off. If you're having problems joining or starting a meeting, make sure that you're signed in with your Gmail account. Your st.nrps.k12.org is really what you need. Otherwise, the teacher will have to admit you as an outside user. If you are using your domain account, then you will automatically be able to join. If your audio or video is poor, you can try using a headset, making sure your Meet is set to the correct camera, microphone, and speakers in those audio and video settings in Meet. Change your video and audio settings like I just showed you. You can change your mobile camera or audio for Meet. Disconnect external monitors if you are using those. They will look for speakers and you will not be able to hear unless your external monitor also has speakers. Mine does not. So tonight when I was doing this and I was connected to my external monitor, I could not hear anybody in the call, but they could hear me. So it was picking up my laptop microphone, but there are no speakers in my external monitor. Make sure your Bluetooth headset works with Meet. Some Bluetooth headsets work well for normal audio calls, but poorly with Meet. It will also drain your battery to use Bluetooth headsets all day long on your Chromebook. Some more troubleshooting. Video and audio quality, we just talked about that. Make sure that your microphone or speaker is not muted. If the audio next to the person's profile image is not moving, those little 3 green dots, Meet is not receiving audio for you. If an audio user is muted, you will see mute or on next to their profile image. Make sure that the microphone or speaker is not muted on your device. Check that the correct microphone and speaker are selected in the Meet settings. If a wireless headset is selected as a peripheral but is not used during a meeting, it can give the impression that the audio is not working. So make sure that your speaker volume is not muted. Do you hear anything when more next to the participant's image is moving? And if you would like to visit Google's Meet settings to find out how to change your computer's camera or video quality, you can click right here on this link. For your video and audio quality, one thing that the students have been experiencing is if they have too many tabs open or other applications open, it can cause poor video quality. So make sure you close any non-essential tabs or apps on your computer or Chromebook. That will reduce the size of the Meet resolution, how we went from high def to standard. Those are the 3 things that are going to make a big difference. Bandwidth issues are the major cause of poor video quality. So even if your audio and video seem fine, other meeting participants may have trouble hearing or seeing you. So here are 3 or 4 different things you can check. You can do an internet speed test. You can use a wired Ethernet connection. You can use the 5 GHz Wi-Fi connection instead of the more heavily used 2.4. And make sure your Wi-Fi router firmware is up to date. Another thing you could try is clearing your cache. If the problem wasn't a browser extension, try and clear your browser's cache. So in Google Chrome, you're going to go up next to your avatar. You'll see 3 dots again. Click on that, click on More Tools, then click Clear Browsing Data, and you can go all the way back to from all time, click on your browsing history, your downloads, your cookies, and your cached images, and clear that data. That will help free up a little bit more space as well. Okay. Uninstall that grid view extension. If you still have that on your Chromebook, you don't need it anymore now that we have the tile view. So you can go up to the puzzle piece in Chrome, click on the Google Meet grid view extension, and remove that from Chrome. That might help with the freezing. that was a problem. It was essential to use back in the springtime, but now that Meet has updated things a little bit, we no longer need this extension. Here are some things that you can do to troubleshoot your Chromebook if your Chromebook is running really slow. If it feels sluggish, your best bet is just to restart and see if the performance issue clears. If not, check for a system update. Something may have gone awry and that Google needed to fix. So you can, how to find if you need an update, go down to the system clock in the bottom right-hand corner of your Chromebook. Click on that gear icon. That will take you to settings. Then click About Chrome OS listed on the left. And if you have updates, it's going to mention that you need an update, and you can click on that latest version. If your Chromebook updated, restart the whole machine, please. Okay, my open browser tabs keep reloading and making everything slow. Chrome occasionally runs into a problem where it keeps reloading browser tabs, slowing down everything else. So shut down all your browser tabs that you don't need to see if performance increases. If your Chromebook won't charge or turn on, first of all, give it time. If it's really dead, you're probably going to need to charge it for a little while before it's even going to want to boot. So give it 30 minutes and then try to boot the device again. Check the charger. Is it damaged? Can you see any wires? Is the USB connector or the charger prongs bent? If so, you might need a new power adapter. The connection is also something that tends to go in a Chromebook, and it's a very easy fix. But if that connection is not completely sealed, then you might have difficulty charging your Chromebook. Also, you can perform a hard reset, which is even better than just turning it off and on. You don't need to do it every time, but every so often it's good to do it. Turn your Chromebook off, press and hold the refresh button, and then tap the power button. And once Chromebook boots, release the refresh button. That will do a hard reset. If you have Wi-Fi issues, make sure your Wi-Fi is on. Go down to the Chromebook settings and look under Network section to make sure that the Wi-Fi is turned on. You can also select the Wi-Fi icon in the bottom right-hand corner. Disconnect and reconnect to the network. Sometimes you just need to turn it off and back on again. And then double check that your Chrome OS is up to date, like we talked about before, going into your settings and checking the Chrome OS. If you're having Wi-Fi issues, turn off your router at home and then restart your Chromebook. Restarting it after disabling the router can resolve those communication conflicts between the devices. And after your Chromebook reboots, turn the router back on and try reconnecting. And then once again, try to perform a hard reset. Press and hold the refresh key and power simultaneously, then release the refresh once your Chromebook boots. How do you know if you need repair and you need a loaner Chromebook? So in order to streamline the process for middle school and high school, all short-term day loaners have been moved to the Library Media Center. So if your Chromebook breaks during the day, either remote or in school, students can bring it to the Library Media Center desk to speak with a specialist and receive a day loaner. We will check out your Chromebook device, see if we can recreate the problem, see if we can fix it without performing any repairs. And if we can, we'll give it back to you. If not, we might need to do some repairs or send it off to insurance. We would prefer the students not be filling out the tech tickets, either the teacher or the parent sends it in. You can also just send your child right to the media center instead. So there are 4 specialists available in the media center at various points throughout the day. Somebody's always there, and we can assist students in troubleshooting their Chromebook, starting the repair process, and handing out short-term loaners. If you are getting a short-term loaner, you need to return it to the library each day before dismissal. Ideally, last period teachers will release them a little bit early. If your Chromebook requires a repair, we will email you a web form to fill out and digitally sign in order for students to receive a long-term loaner. If you have insurance, we will give them a long-term loaner while it's under repair. Or if we need to make repairs and you are willing to pay for the repairs, if you do not have insurance, we will give students a long-term loaner while we repair or get parts for the device. If you need any help with your Chromebook device or any tech at home, here is our link for submitting a tech ticket. The more information you can provide to us in the tech ticket, especially what might be on that white label on your student's Chromebook, whether it's the asset tag and the serial number, all of those are very helpful in troubleshooting a device. If you would like to receive insurance and you are a 6th or 7th grade parent, your deadline is October 1st of this year. The link for that is right here, and it's $100 for a 4-year policy. And once again, here is the link to the slides, bit.ly/3674, lowercase v, uppercase C, uppercase N. That will take you right to the slides and you can have a copy of it. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate you listening in, and we will see you next time.